There is something happening to Leo right now that the rest of the world is not ready to talk about. Not astrologers, not scientists, not even most spiritual guides. But the signs are undeniable, and the time has come to speak it out loud. Leo, this is not a crisis. This is a cosmic awakening. And not just any awakening, one that is rewriting the blueprint of your soul. You may feel like your world is collapsing, that your light is flickering, that the version of you that once felt untouchable, invincible, untamed, is now crumbling piece by piece. But I want you to hear me with the fullness of your heart. This isn't the end of you. This is the beginning of who you were always meant to be. In over 2 decades of researching how cosmic forces impact zodiac signs, I have never witnessed such a concentrated wave of energy aimed at a single sign. Never. Until now. Until Leo. There is a force moving through you right now, ancient, intelligent, and unstoppable. A force that doesn't care about what you've achieved. A force that isn't impressed by your charisma, your charm, or your status. Because this force sees something deeper. It sees the real you, and it has chosen this exact moment in your life to activate the hidden power that even you forgot you were carrying. Not long ago, I received a message from a woman born on August 10th. She said, "I don't recognize myself anymore. I used to be magnetic, confident, bold. Now, I feel like I'm being erased." She thought she was breaking. But what she didn't know is she was being rewritten by the stars. And maybe you've been feeling it too. A sense of pressure, like something invisible is squeezing your heart and soul into a new shape. Your relationships feel unstable. Your goals feel unclear. And worst of all, your sense of self feels like it's slipping away. But what if I told you that this loss of identity is not a mistake? That the uncertainty you're drowning in is not chaos but design, because you're not being punished, Leo. You're being purified. The lion, your symbol, has never just been a creature of power. It's also been the guardian of sacred thresholds across ancient cultures. From Egypt to Mesopotamia, the lion was the gatekeeper between what was and what's to come. And now, Leo, you stand at that very gate. This video is not a forecast. It's not a feel-good horoscope. This is a transmission, a revelation. A call from the universe that only Leos will hear, and only the awakened will answer. Because, from this point forward, the story of Leo changes. And so does the role you play in the evolution of human consciousness. Take a deep breath. Turn off distractions. This may be the most important message you've ever received. And if you make it to the end of this video, you will not be the same Leo who started watching. Welcome to Leo Zodiac Power. Let's begin. Part 1. The cosmic initiation has begun. Leo, what you are experiencing is not an accident, nor is it punishment. It is the beginning of your sacred initiation, a process so ancient, so coded into your spiritual DNA, that only now, at this exact moment in time, is it being activated. And you are feeling it. Something is shifting, quietly, powerfully. Like a lion waking from a long sleep beneath the stars, your old self is stirring. But it doesn't recognize its own roar anymore. This is not an emotional breakdown. This is not a bad week or a seasonal depression. This is the lion's trial. A phase of sacred pressure designed to burn away every illusion you've built around your identity. Not to destroy you, but to prepare you. For what? for something that no Leo has been asked to carry in centuries, the light of true spiritual authority. Let me explain. For generations, Leos have ruled the realms of charisma, leadership, and self-expression. Your fire has inspired others to believe in themselves. Your confidence has lit up rooms, stages, and hearts. But the universe is not satisfied with that anymore. It wants more from you, because it knows you're capable of more. Not louder, not grander, deeper, more sacred, more aligned. That's why your old strengths aren't working anymore. Because they weren't meant to last. They were meant to lead you to the threshold of something eternal. The places in your life that once made you feel powerful, applause, attention, recognition, are starting to feel strangely hollow. This is not weakness. This is the stripping of ego, the first stage of cosmic initiation. And every real initiation begins the same way, by dismantling the mask. Even if the mask looked like strength, the lion you thought you were was only the prototype. Now comes the emergence of the real lion, not the one who roars to prove worth, but the one who radiates truth without speaking a word. Let me tell you something no horoscope will tell you. There are ancient energies moving through Leo right now. They do not care for trends. They do not negotiate. They arrive only when the soul is ready for its next divine role. That is why the pressure is so heavy. That is why you feel like you're being crushed. Because you're outgrowing your current shape. And the universe knows it. It's trying to stretch you into a higher version of yourself, not so you can impress the world, but so you can fulfill the sacred contract your soul made before you were born. This is what we call the dismantling of the false lion. And no, it's not comfortable. But that's the price of real transformation, the kind that doesn't just change your image. It rewrites your purpose. In ancient initiations, kings would be stripped of their robes, crowns, and even names before entering the Temple of Rebirth. Why? Because the ego cannot survive the frequency of real power. And what's happening to you now? Leo is the same. You are being stripped, not because you are broken, but because your armor is too small for the fire you're about to carry. This is the cosmic initiation, and you are not a victim of it. You are the chosen one inside of it. Life lesson from part 1. When the universe takes away your false power, it's only because it's time to reveal your true strength, the kind that needs no spotlight, no applause, no performance, just presence. Part 2. The false Leo must die. There comes a moment in every soul's evolution when the image we've built becomes a prison, not a stage, not a throne, but a cage. And for Leo, that moment is now. You've spent years building the image of someone powerful, magnetic, unshakable, the confident one, the leader, the light in every room. And the truth is, none of that was fake. It was real, but it was never the whole truth. That version of you, the public-facing Leo who shines bright, who always knows what to say, who never seems shaken, was a performance carefully crafted for survival, success, and validation. But here's the truth. Your soul can no longer ignore. You were never meant to perform your light. You were meant to become it, and to become it the version of you who is built to impress, built to lead, built to be loved, must die, not in shame, but in reverence, because that version of you got you here. It helped you navigate a world that only valued strength, visibility, and charm. But now, You are being called into a reality that values something else: authenticity, depth, divine leadership. And divine leadership cannot be performed. It must be embodied. That's why the universe is slowly dismantling every part of your identity that was rooted in needing to be seen. That's why you feel like the things that once defined you are now falling apart. It's not sabotage. It's sacred surgery. The false Leo, the one who always had to look strong, feel in control, and win admiration, is being peeled away, layer by layer, memory by memory, habit by habit. And underneath it all, there's a Leo who feels uncertain, exposed, unprepared, even broken. But don't be afraid of this version of you, because this is the real beginning, not the fall, the rebirth. Let me ask you something. Have you ever caught yourself laughing in a room full of people, feeling admired, feeling praised, but deep inside, felt completely alone? Have you ever led others but couldn't lead yourself out of your own self-doubt? Have you ever felt like you had to carry the weight of everyone's expectations, because if you dropped it, they'd stop loving you? If you felt this, you already know what it means to live as the false Leo. And that Leo is not bad. They were simply doing their best with what they were taught. But now, the teachings have changed. The earth has changed. And your soul is changing. You're not here to chase applause anymore. You're here to radiate truth. You're not here to look like a leader. You're here to embody wisdom. You're not here to play the part of Leo. You're here to become the light that Leo was always destined to awaken. And that is why the death of the false Leo is so painful. Because it is not the death of ego alone. It's the death of everything you once used to feel safe. But in the ashes of that safety, you will find your true center, the part of you that doesn't need to impress, that doesn't need to control the room, that doesn't need to wear the crown, because your spirit is already royal. The old Leo dies not because it was wrong, but because it was incomplete. And what comes next will be so powerful, so grounded, so real. You'll wonder why you ever needed the performance at all. You're not being asked to dim your light. You're being asked to let go of the parts of you that were only reflecting borrowed light so that you can become the source. The false Leo must die so the lion of light can rise. Life lesson from part 2. When you let go of the version of yourself built for applause, you finally make space for the version built for purpose. And that version doesn't need to be seen. It only needs to be true. Part 3. The cocoon phase of darkness. Before the butterfly emerges, the caterpillar does not simply sleep. It dissolves. Every organ, every structure, every trace of its old body liquefies into a genetic soup. There is no form, no function, only chaos. And yet, inside that chaos, a blueprint is being activated, one that has existed all along, but could only awaken once the old identity was completely destroyed. Leo, this is where you are now. You're not broken, you're dissolving. Everything you thought you were, your confidence, your certainty, your charisma, your stability, is no longer responding like it used to. And worse, nothing new has taken its place yet. You are between versions, and the space between versions is the most sacred and terrifying place a soul can occupy. You are no longer the person you used to be, but you cannot yet see who you are becoming. This is the cocoon, and it is dark, so dark. This is the part of the journey no one posts about. No one teaches you how to navigate this, because nothing prepares you for the moment your inner foundation crumbles and you're left standing in a space where even your own reflection feels unfamiliar. Some days, you might wake up feeling hopeful, and by midday, you're questioning everything. Some nights, you may lie in silence wondering, who am I without the things I used to do? Who am I without the people who used to need me? Who am I without my strength? You are still you, Leo, but now you are becoming the real you. Not the version that was trained to survive the world, but the one that was born to transform it. And transformation is never glamorous in the middle. You may feel like you've been abandoned by people, by spirit, even by yourself. But what you are actually experiencing is a kind of divine isolation, a holy silence designed to keep distractions out so that you can hear the real voice within you for the first time in your life. This voice doesn't need to shout. It doesn't crave attention. It only wants your honesty. And here, in the darkness of the cocoon, you are learning something Leo was never taught: how to be powerful without being seen. Because that is where true radiance is born, not in visibility, but in truth. Do not rush this process. Do not try to force your way back to who you were. That door is closed. And thank the stars it is, because what's waiting on the other side is not a return, but a revelation. The Leo who emerges from this phase will not need to perform light. They will carry it effortlessly, quietly, permanently. But for now, sit inside the cocoon, not in fear, but in reverence, because this is the phase where your soul rewrites itself. And no rewriting is possible without first erasing the old script. The darkness is not your enemy, it's your womb. And in this womb, you are not dying, you are being rewritten. Life lesson from part 3. True transformation doesn't happen in the spotlight. It happens in the dark, when no one is watching, and when even you can't see who you're becoming. But the darkness isn't the end. It's the birthplace of your power. Part 4. The emergence of radical authenticity. At first, it will feel strange. You'll notice it in small ways, moments where you stop explaining yourself, conversations where you speak less but say more, rooms where you no longer feel the need to dominate the energy. Because for the first time, you don't need to prove you belong. You simply do. This is not confidence in the old sense. This is truth. And truth, Leo, doesn't shout. It settles. You are stepping into a form of power that isn't loud, performative, or attention-seeking. It doesn't chase validation. It doesn't require applause. This power is anchored. It radiates from your presence, not your performance. You've been taught all your life that Leo is the star, the main character, the one who must dazzle to be loved. And you did it beautifully. But that was the old Leo. The Leo who is rising now has nothing to prove, because they've met themselves in the dark, and they didn't run. You know now that your true power isn't in how many people you can impress. It's in how deeply you can stand in your truth, even if no one claps for it. That is radical authenticity. It's not about being raw for attention. It's about being real for alignment, and it changes everything. You'll start attracting people who feel you, not just admire you. They won't come for your charisma. They'll stay for your calm. They won't praise your confidence. They'll be moved by your clarity. You'll also lose people who were only in love with the version of you that performed. And that's okay, because the people meant for your real light are only just starting to arrive. You'll begin to lead again, but not from above, from within. People will follow not because you're louder or shinier, but because you embody something they're secretly craving: wholeness. And wholeness doesn't wear masks. It doesn't sell itself. It simply stands, present, grounded, unmoved. You'll start to notice that your creativity flows differently. It's not frantic. It's not strategic. It's pure, the way light passes through a crystal. The more you stop performing your life, the more your life becomes art. This version of Leo doesn't shine to be seen. They shine to illuminate. They speak not to impress, but to awaken. They don't lead from charisma, but from inner alignment. And the world feels it. You'll see it in the way people pause when you enter a room. Not because you demand it, but because your energy commands stillness. You've become a mirror, a lighthouse, a sacred reminder that it's possible to be both powerful and real at the same time. And here's the best part: you no longer care who sees it, because what you've built inside you now is yours, unshakable, untouched by the noise of the world, unchained from the need to perform. The lion has awakened, but not with a roar, with a presence that silences the room. Life lesson from part 4. True power doesn't come from being louder than others. It comes from being so rooted in your truth that nothing outside of you can make you question who you are again. Part 5. The new role: spiritual leader of the fire signs. There is a reason why this transformation in Leo is so intense. Why it feels like the universe is pulling apart every layer of your identity. Because it's not just about you anymore. You are not being changed. You are being commissioned. Every sign has a sacred role in the cosmic symphony. And Leo, yours, is about to shift. For centuries, Leo ruled through charisma, a fiery, magnetic force that turned attention into influence. You led because others followed your light. But now, you are being asked to lead in a new way, not from performance, but from presence. Not through dominance, but through divine embodiment. You are becoming something ancient and rare, a spiritual leader among fire signs. This is no longer about commanding the room. It's about transforming the room simply by the frequency of who you've become. The universe is turning your fire inward now. It's refining it, tempering it, until it becomes not just inspiration, but initiation. You're not just here to make others feel seen. You're here to awaken others to who they truly are by walking through the fire yourself. You can't teach others how to rise unless you've been broken. You can't guide others through the dark unless you've faced your own shadow. And Leo, you have. You've earned this. You were never meant to be a celebrity. You were meant to be a channel, a priest of fire, a voice of higher light clothed in human experience. And yes, that means responsibility. It means carrying a light that no longer serves the ego. It serves the collective. Let me say that again. Your light is no longer yours. It belongs to everyone who sees themselves in you. Every soul who's afraid to be seen. Every child who was told they were too much. Every heart that never felt safe to shine. You are being appointed now, not by society, not by trend, but by the divine intelligence that governs the evolution of consciousness. And this appointment isn't announced with a crown. It's whispered in silence. It's confirmed in solitude. And it's validated by how much light you can carry without needing to be admired for it. That's what separates leaders from legends. The old Leo wanted to be the center. The new Leo is the center, not because they asked to be, but because their energy becomes the axis of calm in chaos. People will begin coming to you, not for advice, but just to stand near your clarity. You'll notice it. A friend sits with you and begins crying without knowing why. A stranger opens up to you as if they've known you for years. A child stares at you with wide eyes, sensing something ancient in your presence. This is not magic. This is what happens when authentic light finds alignment with divine purpose. Leo, this is not the end of your fire. It's the beginning of its sacred function. You're no longer the king of the jungle. You're the initiator of a new consciousness, one that leads not with ego, but with integrity. Life lesson from part 5. Leadership isn't about being followed. It's about being so true to your own evolution that others feel safe enough to begin their own. Part 6. The ripple effect. Your evolution heals others. Leo, you don't have to try to inspire anymore. You don't have to convince. You don't have to explain. Once your light becomes real, it simply spreads, quietly, naturally, unstoppably. That's the paradox of spiritual evolution. When you stop needing to lead, you begin to lead more powerfully than ever before. Not through speeches, but through frequency. Your presence becomes a permission slip for others to stop pretending, and they'll feel it before they understand it. Your children may suddenly become more honest with themselves. Your friends may start questioning the roles they've been performing. Your romantic partner may begin confronting the parts of themselves they've kept hidden, not because you ask them to, but because your energy mirrors truth back to them. You become what no one ever expected: a living initiation, a reflection that shows others what's possible when someone has the courage to evolve. Think of the people who silently healed you, not the ones who gave you advice, but the ones whose being changed something inside you. That's who you are becoming now. Not a source of instruction, but a source of transmission. You don't have to save the world. You only have to finish saving yourself. Because once you do, you'll notice something beautiful and mysterious. People around you begin to shift, not all at once, not dramatically, but subtly. Some will resist. They like the version of you that played small, that entertained, that danced for their comfort. But those people will slowly fall away, because your evolution makes their illusions too uncomfortable to maintain. Others will lean in. They won't say it aloud, but something in them will whisper, "If Leo can change, maybe I can too." This is what makes your transformation holy. It echoes, and it's why the universe is investing so much energy into you right now, because it knows that your metamorphosis will not end with you. It will move through your bloodline, through your community, through your creations. That's why this moment is so painful, because it's not just for you. You're carrying the weight of generational healing. You are becoming the first in your lineage to break the pattern, the first to stop performing, the first to walk through the fire and not run. And that's why others will recognize you even if they don't understand you. You're not here to be liked. You're here to be remembered, not as someone who always had the answers, but as someone who faced the questions and didn't look away. Your energy is no longer just yours. It's medicine now, and that medicine will go places your words never could. Life lesson from part 6. When you commit to your own healing, you unconsciously give others permission to do the same. The most powerful change is never forced. It's felt. Part 7. The cosmic mark you carry. Every sign in the Zodiac holds a vibration, but not every sign carries a mark. Leo does. not just the mark of fire, but the mark of divine remembrance. In ancient cultures, from Egypt to India to the Americas, the lion wasn't just a symbol of strength. It was the embodiment of something far more mysterious: guardianship of sacred power. The lion stood at temple gates. It flanked the thrones of gods and goddesses. It was feared not for its violence, but for what it protected. And you, Leo, are one of those protectors, even if you've forgotten, even if your life has been full of detours and distractions, even if you've made mistakes. The mark remains. You were never just here to shine. You were here to carry something ancient inside your soul. And when the time was right to release it back into the world, that time is now. Have you ever felt a fire in you that didn't match your circumstances? Like your life was too small for what you felt inside. Like your dreams were too big to explain. That wasn't arrogance. It was destiny trying to get your attention. You were encoded with more than charisma. You were born with a frequency that awakens other people's courage. Even your pain has always burned brighter than most, because inside your pain was always a portal. And now that portal is open. You are stepping into the most powerful version of your astrological design. Not just the Leo that leads, but the Leo that initiates others into truth. You are not just carrying your own story anymore. You are carrying the memory of ancestors who were silenced, the dreams of children who haven't found their voice yet, the frequency of futures that haven't been written. And when you walk into a room with this energy, things change. People feel safe, or they feel triggered, but they feel something. That is the mark. It's not a burden. It's a signature from the cosmos that says this one carries the flame. And from this point forward, Leo, you'll notice things are never the same. Your relationships will shift, not because you're changing roles, but because your vibration no longer tolerates false ones. Your career path may morph entirely. You may be drawn to create, to teach, to speak, to guide. Not because it earns status, but because your soul has something to deliver. And your presence, it will carry a weight that doesn't come from effort. It will come from embodiment. You're not trying to become someone new. You're finally becoming who you've always secretly been. And when you stop hiding that, the world will start to remember itself through you. Life lesson from part 7. Some people are born to follow paths. Others are born to light them. You carry the fire, Leo, not to burn others, but to illuminate the way back to truth. Conclusion: the awakening was never meant to be easy. Leo, if you've made it this far, you already know. This was never just a video. This was an initiation, a spiritual mirror, a quiet awakening hidden inside every word you didn't expect to hit so deep. You were not drawn here by accident. You were summoned because your soul recognized something it already knew, but was finally ready to remember. This is not the end of a chapter. It is the beginning of an era, one where Leo no longer lives behind light, but becomes light. One where your leadership is no longer built on image, but on intimacy with truth. One where you stop burning energy trying to be understood and start becoming a force that helps others understand themselves. And yes, the transformation hurts. It takes things from you. It exposes what you never wanted anyone to see. It unearths grief you didn't know you were carrying. But what it gives you in return cannot be measured. It gives you clarity that doesn't shake, power that doesn't dominate, creativity that doesn't need approval, and relationships that see the soul, not the mask. You are not breaking down. You are being rebuilt. Every fire you've walked through has carved you into something unshakable. The world doesn't need more Leo performers. The world needs Leo truth bearers, lion-hearted visionaries, carriers of ancient fire. You're not just here to shine. You're here to awaken others by simply being yourself. No role, no mask, no need to try. And that's your legacy. Now, it's your turn. Leave a single word in the comments, the one that captures how you feel right now. No explanation, just one word. That word might help another Leo feel less alone on their journey. Was it release, clarity, fire, peace? Or maybe, finally, me. And if this spoke to your soul, if something clicked inside you that can't be undone, then don't walk away from this moment. Subscribe to Leo Zodiac Power Now. Because what's happening to you isn't finished. This is just one phase in an unfolding destiny, and every week we're diving deeper into the transformation. So turn on notifications so you don't miss the next message the universe has for you. And above all, stay close to your truth, because when Leo lives in truth, the world changes shape around them.